Please welcome everyone to Sunday Sentiments
in the battle against COVID-19.
Almost people try to justify what he did.
Charged.
Of course, this is a hate crime.
Saved. That's a very traumatic event.
Wow, I mean, it's a violation of human rights.
So thank you guys for joining us. Our next topic is around anti-racism, which we have touched on in various forms in the past. And today we want to discuss the ideology or the phrase, I don't see race or I don't see color. We want to just have a frank discussion about it. We want to be open, and remember it's about learning and educating ourselves without judgment. So the phrase, I don't see color, I've heard it personally in the past a lot of times as an individual and also just elsewhere. And it's usually well-meaning people who say this phrase. So what I want to do is first talk about, what do you think as individuals, what do you think people are trying to say when they say, I don't see color? I just want to get a feeling of what people think the other person is trying to say. As I've said, for me, a lot of the time it's just been from well-meaning people. So there's loads of hands up. I'll start with Imani, and then Shakira, then Jamila. And please don't make it brief and succinct.
So for me, when someone says that they are colorblind, I know obviously it's coming from the best intentions, but to me, she's saying that, like, I don't see, like, I treat everybody fairly, which is very good, but I don't see that big identity, which is part of you. Like, I'm half black and I'm half black, and I want people to notice that, because that's part of what made me who I am today. And also, like, I'm proud of that, and not acknowledging what I am is kind of like, I don't know, it doesn't sits well with me. And it's also like saying, like, you can use that to say racism doesn't exist, like, because you don't see color, you're blind to any injustice. You should acknowledge that someone, who they are, what race they are, as well as the issues and the struggles they go through.
Thank you very much, Imani. I'll just address the first part of what you said, because we will come to how do you feel when someone says that. So the first part of the question for the next people commenting is just, what do you think someone is trying to say when they say that? And Imani has said it comes from the best place, and they're just trying to say that they are not somebody who judges someone on the color of their skin. And then you went on to say more, and we'll discuss that more. So please, guys, first question is, what do you think someone is trying to portray? Then we'll move on to what could be the harm or danger by people saying this. So I think next was Shakira, Jamila, Huda, and then just write your name in the comments. Oh, okay, Catherine, there's someone who wrote here. Catherine, Sarah, Jamila. So let us start with Catherine, please.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they're trying to say, for me, it doesn't make any difference of who you are, and it comes from a good place, with a good intention. But it's also often, I think, to avoid having an uncomfortable discussion around racism, and being insecure, not being able, or feeling that they might not be able to say the right thing, the fear of saying the wrong thing if this discussion comes about. And so while it is well intended, it obviously doesn't serve the purpose.
Thank you, Catherine. I like your point about it's also people who don't want to have that uncomfortable discussion about racism, and we'll discuss that. I don't know why it makes people so uncomfortable, but we can talk about that after. That's a very good point. Next is Sarah, and then Jamila will let Huda go first, because you guys have spoken a lot. So Sarah, Huda, Jamila, then Shakira, please.
I think when someone says that it's colorblind, I think they go with a good intention. It's not a bad intention at first. They just try to say that they don't have the prejudice, and they embrace the diversity and everything. But this can be a bit controversial sometimes, because it seems someone that it's just lazy to understand all the cultures. It's just the point here is to go and understand what's happening. So it's just saying, oh no, I don't see color, so I just forget what in the real world is happening. So I think here it's the problem that we can find.
Thank you very much, Sarah. You said that it could be just a bit of not wanting to deal with things, a bit what Catherine said, and being lazy about not learning about other people and their experiences. And by the way, this is where all lives matter is so problematic, okay? So this is basically saying all lives matter, and really misunderstanding that when people say Black Lives Matter, they don't mean that all other lives don't matter. It's just that we want people to start seeing the systemic bias and racism that is in society today. It's highlighting that issue and not trying to, disregard other people's lives. So thank you, Sarah, for that point. Let's learn about other cultures and learn about their experiences. That's the only way we can kick racism out. Huda, please.
I think me personally, if someone told me that he doesn't see any color, it feels me so comfortable, because as a Black child in a white people, I've been counted as a Black in my family, because all my siblings, they're so white.
Oh.
And even my mom, my sisters, my brother, they're like so white. I have been counted as a Black. So I have faced lots of racism even from my siblings when I was a child, and from outside of my family as well. So if someone comes and says that he doesn't see any color, absolutely, it gives me a very comfortable feeling. That's mean I'm not different from my siblings and from my family. I'm same thing. So yes.
Thank you very much, Huda, for showing us another way someone can look at it. You say you've experienced some sort of prejudice because you're, I assume, much darker maybe than your siblings and your family members, and have been treated differently. So for you, when someone says, I don't see color, it's actually a comfort, and you feel, they don't see me as different from the others. So we really acknowledge that. Yeah, is that what you're trying to say, Huda?
Yeah, because it's so hard when you're a child and you don't understand why the people, they are annoying and they call you a Black person, or when you're a teenager you just feel less confident because you're not look like the others, you're not the same standard of the pretty girl and these things. So if someone at that time came and told me I don't see any color, so that means I'm in the same level of the other girls and my siblings, it would give me a lot of confidence and comfortable as well. Yeah.
I have a question for Huda. So in that context, the color Black or being called that was equivalent to being told you are not attractive, you're not like everyone else. Am I understanding you right? It comes with negativity.
Yeah, even some people from let's say relevant, they been saying like, oh, no one is going to marry you, it's all right, we will take you as a second wife, and these things, no one will look at you, you're so ugly. I used to be so weak when I was a teenager and not comfortable at all, because everyone was asking my sisters for relations or for a marriage, but no one was attracted to me. So yeah, but the things changed when I grew up and when I knew that this is nothing, and the colors, it doesn't give me any it's not like my value is not my color, so I am who I am. But yeah.
Huda, thank you so much for sharing that very personal story. And we 100% acknowledge your view on this, you know, case of I don't see color. For you, it means something so positive. And we'll talk about, this is about learning and educating ourselves. We'll also talk about how actually seeing color could also help you in your own situation of people just deciding you're not beautiful because of your color. Okay, so we're not there yet. We want to actually get there in society where we don't see color. That's where we want to get. But unfortunately, we're not there yet. And we'll discuss why it's so important to actually acknowledge color to bring about change. So thank you for sharing, Huda. Guys, if you don't mind, we're going to have a session another time on colorism, because this is a big issue within minority groups. There's a lot of colorism, and we'll discuss what it is and how it affects people from childhood. It's terrible. Next is Jamila, then Shakira.
Yeah, so my view is very different from everyone else's. Usually when I hear I don't see color, it's someone's excuse. So they've been racist and then they say, I'm not racist, I don't see color. So I don't take it as a compliment at all. I take it as an insult, because they're insulting my intelligence by saying something racist and then saying, just because I don't see color, I can't be racist. So I've never had someone come up to me and say, you're beautiful, I don't see color. I've always had someone say something racist towards me and then say, I don't see color. So that's my view on how I think that sentence is very problematic.
Thank you, Jamila. Now, Jamila has given another viewpoint because it's about everyone's experience. Everyone has a personal experience. Huda has had one. Jamila has had the opposite, where somebody is being racist and then they're like, oh, my best friend is black, or I don't know, my neighbor's sister, I don't know who is black, so I don't see color. So there's that angle as well. Somebody is being problematic, and then they think if they say they don't see color, it just erases everything. So thank you for that. Anyone?
Something, please.
Yes, Huda. Yeah.
When they say I don't see color, it doesn't mean that they don't see only like the black color. When they say we don't see color, that means we don't see the white color as well, and to not treat them differently with the other people who they have a different color. So it's not only like, this is not only for the black people, let's say directly, it's not only for the black people because, oh, you're black, but it's okay, I don't see you as a black person. But even for the white people as well, you're white, so I don't treat you differently from the other people because you're white. So yeah.
Yes, and it should be like that in all cases. I think we had Shakira, then we'll have Sarah. Shakira, please.
Sorry, I disconnected for a second. I'm actually in complete agreement with Jamila, because all of my experiences with somebody saying that, I feel like the line is usually like, I don't see color, I don't care if you're black, white, blue, purple, and all these other colors that they're bringing up as if anybody's actually that color. I just remember the one time that somebody directly said that line was my teacher when I was defending myself against my racist bullies in class, and I was like complaining to one of my other classmates, the one who didn't do anything. And then she just turned around and she said, oh, but I don't see color, there's no difference. And then she just kept talking about how it was like they weren't being racist, they were just being a little bit mean, and she never did anything to stop them. But she's also the same woman who kept, every time I would tell her that something happened, she would keep mentioning, I have a black husband, very emphasis, like a big emphasis on the black part, and I have mixed children, so I know exactly how you feel. She was a blonde woman, a blonde white woman, trying to tell me that I didn't experience racism, they were just being a bit mean, and that she didn't see color, even though she's the one who kept mentioning that she has a black, African, dark-skinned husband for some reason. And I just kept thinking in my head that every time somebody says that, you, like Neil said, you're just trying to excuse yourself. Like you're gonna say something racist, or you have said something racist. Like every time you see somebody in a video saying it, they've just done something. Like they've called the cops, and then they get called racist, and they're like, oh, but I don't care what color you are. I don't care if you're blue, purple, rainbow. It's always, I feel like it's always leading up to something racist. And that woman, specifically that teacher, she's going to experience racism through her kids when they're going to experience it most likely just as bad as I did, because they will not, like, nobody will look at them with like color blind lenses. They will be seen as people of color, and they will be treated the way people of color are treated.
Thank you, Shakira. We know how you had a really difficult time, you know, and I just love that you're so outspoken and confident in spite of what you went through with those racist bullies. And they were racist bullies because we know the kind of things they were saying. So there's no excuse for your teacher. We know for a fact that it wasn't a vague and unclear, is this racism? They were saying specifically racist things that we all know are racist. We're not going to go into that. So I'm glad that you're a confident young woman and you're able to express yourself and speak on behalf of other kids who are biracial as well. Next is Shamsa, please.
I just want to say that, skin tone plays a great role in every, say European or in America, these type of countries, because regardless of saying that they treat everybody equally, but practically they don't. And the internet, social media, everywhere, that they are full of with the digits and numbers, that who is going to get the good post. They are not judging people by their qualification, but they are judging people by their race. So in spite of saying they are colorblind, they don't see colors, but in fact they do. So the thing is, they don't need to be colorblind. Mindset should be changed. So the thing is, need to change his mindset.
Thank you very much, Shamsa. It's about changing the mindset. So because right now we're not in a place where people don't see color, there are many races who actually do see color, and then that's perpetuated by systemic racism where people are treated differently. So because we're not there yet, we have to acknowledge that people are different, and we will talk about that just a bit more. We might have like a 10-minute discussion about that, and unfortunately we will not have the discussion on the institutional racism being non-existent in the UK. We'll carry that on to another session. So next is Catherine, please.
Yeah, I've got maybe a bit of a fun fact. I read about a study that showed that even blind people are racist or can be racist. They actually have visual representations of people. They just use different markers. So it is not about what we see, because I can see you now. I see what you wear. I see your hair. I see your color. I see all sorts of things. But it's about what I do with it. How do I perceive it, and how does that affect my behavior? So it's not what we see, but what we actually perceive when we meet the person, and then that we acknowledge. I mean, that's for me also important. As a breastfeeding counselor, that's what I learned. There was a big part of the training not to judge the women that come to me by maybe their shoes or their earrings or the certain way they dress, but acknowledge that that's what's going on for me, that I see something, I make a judgment, but then I'm open to actually meet the person. Doesn't matter what she's wearing, how she looks, and what is from what race she is, or what religion or whatever it is.
Thank you, Catherine. I think I did come across your article. And there was also, I don't know if it's the same one, but there was one that said that racism isn't necessarily triggered by the visual cues of someone's skin tone. It's about the social value that is placed on someone and assign to people based on
Yeah.
where they come from and their physical attributes. So it's not just about color. So just saying you don't see color is a bit like
we will always see color. It's impossible not to see it. We see because we see the person. It's just we need to learn to deal with our judgmental thoughts.
Thank you, Catherine. And then next is Shiro, then Sarah. Let's just finish with this because this is an important topic. So Shiro, then Sarah, and then we'll just say quickly why it's so problematic to say you don't see color. Yes, Shiro.
I don't understand how someone can say they don't see color, yet we know color is there and diversity is a spice of life. We are all beautiful in our own skins. And so in my opinion, when someone says they don't see color, I think they are well-meaning, but I tend to feel that a person who says they don't see color is someone who has not experienced racism. Usually, that's why they say that. If they've experienced racism, they wouldn't say that. And if it's a person of color and they say they don't see color, then that's, I feel, is a person who is in denial and they're trying to bury their head in the sand because racism is real. So those who say they don't see color, and again, we're talking about opinions, I think they're the same people who will tell me I'm being oversensitive if I talk about racism because they're uncomfortable talking about it.
Thank you, Shiro. That is a good point. A lot of the times people that say they do not see color are the people who are privileged enough not to have to think about color. Okay, even in Huda's point, yeah? Huda, in your case, somebody who comes and tells you that will not be somebody as dark as, you know, actually, I don't even, it's so weird. I don't even see you as like a dark, you know, because, yeah, I'm quite dark and proud, by the way. But those people in your life who see you as different, it will usually be somebody who's like them coming to say to you, I don't see color. And that's when you feel good that you're the same. If I come and tell you, and unfortunately this is the truth, if I come and tell you as a black person who's blacker than you, I don't see color, Huda, it's not really gonna make you feel, you know, like this is just generally like, oh wow, yeah, I'm the same as everyone else. It needs to be somebody who has it, who has that privilege of not thinking about color to come and tell you I don't see color. Do you see the point?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to come from someone who hasn't had to deal with those issues you deal with to tell you I don't see color. It's never someone who's experiencing the same thing as you, unfortunately. So yes to Shiro's point, and yes to it connecting to Catherine and other people saying it's usually people who feel uncomfortable thinking about race and talking about race, who from a well-meaning place say they don't see color, but actually cause more harm by trying to put the blinders on, because in real life, color is seen and people go through injustice because of that. So ignoring it doesn't make it go away. It says Sarah and then Keshi, and then we'll wrap up, please.
Yes, I really agree with all your points. And I just wanted to say that I feel when someone says there's no color, I don't see color, they just put everyone in the same point. But we are different. The difference, it's what makes us who we are. So even it's not just color, it's everything that you are. That if we are the same, it's not, there's no point in life. So I think the problem of this sentence or this quote, it's just that you're hiding real life, because the goal of going to a fair place, it's to see and recognize a skin color, but to control and regulate our innate impulse to make decision or behave based on characteristics and not just in color. It's just sometimes it happens with gays, with lesbians, it happens with many characteristics. So the thing is to be aware of the characteristics and do our behavior according these characteristics, like normal, not because of sorry, because of these characteristics, I'm going to treat you in this way. So I don't think this quote is accurate to the real steps that the world have to do right now.
Thank you so much, Sarah. You're so right. We need to acknowledge the differences in people instead of just saying I don't see color. It's actually great that we're all different colors. Like Shiro said, variety is the spice of life. That's basically what Sarah is saying. The reason that life is so interesting is because we're all different. If we were all just like colorless, you know, it's not that interesting. So Sarah's point is learning how to see the difference in people and not make judgments based on their physical characteristics. I think that's very important. Keshi?
Yeah, I have to say Shiro and Sarah, and I think Catherine, actually everything they said is what I wanted to say. I wanted to say that why should you not see color if it exists? Why do you want to make me invisible? The color is there. Even if you don't see it, doesn't make it go away. It's still there. I'm still a brown girl or a dark girl or a black girl or whatever color attribute you want to give me. So saying you don't see color is actually, I find it disingenuous because it's not true. They can see your color. So actually they are trying to say something else. Is maybe they are trying to say that they will not treat you differently because of your color. And that's what they should say if that's what they mean, not say I don't see color. There's nobody, unless you're color blind, then there's nobody who will not look at me and see my color. And I also wanted to say that you can see color, and that doesn't mean that when you see color, you have to be racist. There are people who see color and they are not racist. So why does it have to be that you see color and then you act racist in a racist manner? It doesn't mean people who see color are racist. Being racist is a choice you make to treat people differently because of the color of their skin. So for me, I find it a cop-out. I think, like Jamila said also, it's disingenuous. I don't believe they don't see color. And I think you're trying to make other people invisible by telling them you don't see them. So for me, I don't agree with that statement. I don't see color, and I would never use it because I do see color. I see Catherine, your color. Shiko, I see your color. I see who does color. That's the fact of life. We are different. Why try to change and think, yeah, we don't see it. It is there. It doesn't matter if I see it or not.
Oh, thank you, Keshi. As we've all said, it's usually people thinking that they're saying something good, but by discounting that you're different, it means that the issue, which is there, just because they say it doesn't mean it disappears. And Huda, that's why I want you to, and I know you went through a very traumatic time as a child, but now as an adult, and we can see now you're a confident adult. Yeah, now you're a confident adult. As an adult, I'm sure you agree that just someone saying that, as much as it will give you comfort, wouldn't take away the fact that still in society, people are seeing you as a way. So what we need to do is people to accept that people are different, people have different colors, and not to judge people because of those attributes. Instead of just saying, I don't see color, that just hides away the issue and makes us go around trying to act like everything is okay, but it is not. Somebody else, Catherine, you have a...
Sorry. What I meant when I said like I will feel comfortable, and I'm still I have same point, that it's not only saying that, it's when they treat you based on that they don't see you're black, you're white, so I don't treat you differently. I don't see your color, that's mean I don't see you're different, so I treat you same as the other people. There's no different. So it's not only just saying that, yeah, of course, it will not change anything.
So Huda, what we're trying to say is the phrase itself is problematic. So it's better if somebody means that they will not treat you different to tell you that, you know, you're beautiful and I do not see you as any different, and I'm not going to treat you different. I think, and maybe it's even different in the part of the world you're from, because in your part, it was a colorism issue. So not racism, because these are people like you, but they're treating you different because of the tone of your skin. So it's a bit different, even the concept, when it's a colorist issue. So when we're talking about racism, the concept, the ideology takes on a very different meaning when somebody is saying they don't see color, because it then becomes harmful. It means that we're not looking at racism as an issue and doing something to change it, because we have to see the color to try and say that people are different, but they should not be treated differently. So I think let's agree that on the colorism issue, on that individual level, it's great to hear someone say to you, I don't see color, I don't see you as different, but on the bigger picture, on a systemic level, it is a big problem. And this is basically what the UK government said. We were meant to discuss this after. In their report of there's no institutional racism in the UK, they're basically saying we don't see color in the UK. That's a problem, because the reality is they do see color. You know, people are treated differently. And that's why we need to fight this whole blinders of everyone is the same, because we know it's not the same in reality. I think we need Megan, and then let's finish. Megan, please.
Catherine.
That's okay.
Oh, Catherine, do you want to go?
No, I just wanted to say, because obviously in saying we don't see color, we minimize the person. We take one part of their identity away, and people who don't understand it, they should just imagine, like, if you've never had to deal with racism, it would be somebody saying to me, I don't see that you're a mother. I don't see that you're a career woman. Oh, I don't see that you're a doctor. You know, it's part of what we are, and it takes away from us. And I mean, I thought that was quite a good analogy, sort of maybe when you haven't experienced racism, to sort of trying to understand what it actually means to the person who's told that you don't see color.
Thank you very much, Catherine. I think that's true about erasing people's identity. You're right. It's important to acknowledge their identity and then accept them as they are. Yes, Megan.
Sorry, I was literally going to say pretty much the same as you, Catherine.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's okay. I think it's quite a condescending statement for someone to say to another person. It's almost as if, oh, it's okay, I'll be nice to you, I'm not going to treat you differently. And it has a bit of a savior complex to it, I think. Yeah, I think we shouldn't use this phrase. I can understand the people who genuinely are trying to be accepting and to show solidarity, but that's not the way to show it, because it's not showing solidarity. I think in order to, I think we need to celebrate diversity and our differences as human beings on every level. And also realise that people of colour and Black people are more likely to have had struggles due to their ethnicity than white people, on every level. And by saying, oh, it's okay, I don't see colour, you're denying those struggles.
Yeah, thank you, Megan. I would like to say that for me personally, I would rather if somebody said, I know you go through so much and I would like to know more about how we can change things, rather than them just saying, don't worry, I don't see color. Because as you say, it means they're not acknowledging actually the things that I'm going through. And just them as one individual saying that is not going to change it. So I'd rather, if people are allies and that's what they're trying to communicate, that they say, I want to learn, I want to educate myself on anti-racism. What can I do? I think that's a more useful way. Let's campaign within government. Let's fight this stupid report saying there's no institutional racism. That's actually something that can bring about like a change in policy. And that change in policy then trickles down to the lower levels of the society. And then hopefully one day, ideally, we can all just treat each other without these judgments based on physical attributes. Keshi, really, we have to finish. So unless your point is completely vital.
Yes, my point is completely vital because I want to reference what you said about that report of not having institutional racism. And then what we can do is look at a model like France, where they say they have a colorblind model and they don't see color. They're all the same. And then ask yourself, even if they have that colorblind model, has it removed racism in France? Does everyone have the same experience? Ask yourself that, and go up and go and read about France and their colorblind model and see if it's actually working for the people who come from other cultures, which they don't want to acknowledge.
Thank you, Keshi, for that point. And on that note, we're going to say we will carry on this discussion to the next session because we were meant to look at the reports from the UK on institutional racism, where we were told that, let me just share it with you. And then we will talk about this next time among other topics. So this is what we were told in a report. Systemic racism does not exist in the UK. France says they have a colorblind model, as Keshi said. Just a few months back, we looked at a case of racist French police attacking an innocent Black man who they thought was some gangster, you know, and unfortunately they were recorded. So this completely knocks that thing off its legs. The whole we're colorblind, we don't discriminate. That's just one case. So please, for the next time, if you can, research on France's colorblind society, and then also on the UK's report on there's no institutional racism, and then we will discuss that next time. So thank you very, very much, guys, for your patience. And it's so sunny in the UK, so I have to say to the people in the UK, thank you for giving us your time on a sunny day when you'd rather be out there basking in the sun. The sun is still out, so you can still go catch it. Thank you, panelists from other parts of the world, for joining us and giving us your time. We really do appreciate. Please like, please subscribe. Yeah, give us a like, watch the video, share it with your friends, and hit that notification bell so that you can get the heads up when you have a new content. Thank you very much, guys, and we will see you next time.